Wonders of Medicine, Unit 3, Drug Development and Approval. Conventional method, that means that a way of doing something that has been used for a long time and it's considered the standard. Compound means that something that consists of a combination of two or more parts, quantities, etc. Promising means that showing signs of being successful in the future. Prescribe means that to authorize a particular drug or treatment for a patient, usually by a physician or in writing. Trial means that a process of testing to find out whether something works effectively and itself. How much do you know about clinical trials? For example, do you know how long it takes for a new drug to be approved? Once a new compound has been identified in the laboratory, it undergoes a lengthy process before it can be marketed for public use. This entire drug development process can be summarized as follows: preclinical testing, investigation of new drug application, clinical trials, new drug application, NDA, and approval. During preclinical testing, a pharmaceutical company conducts laboratory and animal studies to test the effectiveness of the compound against the targeted disease. Preclinical testing also determines the safety of the new compound and studies the physical and chemical characteristics of the new drug substance. These tests take about 3.5 years. 3.5 year after preclinical 3.5 These tests take about 3.5 years. After preclinical testing, the company files an IND application with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) for permission to begin human testing. Without objections, tests begin within 30 days. Preclinical testing starts with phase 1 studies on 20 to 80 healthy subjects. The safe dosage range and how the drug is absorbed, distributed, metabolized, and excreted by the body and determined. These tests take about a year. In phase 2, the potential drug is first tested on 100 to 300 patients suffering from the targeted disease. This takes about 2 years if a new drug looks promising. Phase 3 with 10,000 phase 3 with 1,000 to 3,000 patients is started. It tests the therapeutic outcome of the new treatment compared to conventional methods. These human clinical trials are subject to strict review and approval by institutional ethics committees. This phase lasts about 3 years. Ultimately, only about one new drug ever emerges from 10,000 newly synthesized substances. After the clinical trials have been completed, the company analyzes all of the data and, if the data is positive, files an NDA with the FDA in 1997. The average NDA review time for new substances approval was 16.2 months. After this approval, physicians are then free to prescribe the new medicine. The drug manufacturer must continue to submit periodic reports to the FDA that includes the includes the appropriate quality control records and information on any cases of adverse reactions. For some medicines, the FDA requires follow-up trials to evaluate long-term effects. Developing safe and effective new medicines is a long and expensive process. The 11 to 13 years it takes on average from laboratory to pharmacy is very long for people suffering from terminal disease. In recent years, this has led to greater pressure by patients who know they cannot wait for treatment. For these patients, speeding up the lengthy process is indeed a matter of life and death. Unit 4 What is Campo? Pharmacological 薬学的 ingredient 原料 symptoms 症状 diagnosis 診断 metabolic 代謝 clinical trials compound preclinical testing Investigational New Drug Application 研究用新薬申請 Investigational New Drug Application New Drug Application 新薬承認申請 Approval 承認 Drug Substance 原材製剤原料 Food and Drug Administration 米国食品医薬品局 Metabolize Excrete Potential Drug Ethics Committee Matter of life and death. What is camphor? For millennia, humans have used plants to herbs as medicines. Ginger, for example, is used to relieve nausea, vomiting, and other gastrointestinal symptoms. Rhubarb is good for constipation. St. John's wort eases depression and anxiety. While cultures around the world have greatly benefited from the pharmacological ingredients in these and other herbs for treating various disorders. The Chinese have been especially successful at developing their own traditional medical practices over several thousand years. Japan adopted these practices during the 4th or 5th century and created its own unique herbal medical diagnosis and treatment system called Kampo. Kampo is the most commonly employed form of alternative medicine in Japan. According to a recent survey, about 75% of Japanese physicians have prescribed Kampo drugs as part of their treatment. This increasing interest in Kampo comes from of simple fact Kampo drugs have been producing promising results in patients. In Kampo treatment, physicians see a disease condition as the manifestation of imbalances within the body. Symptoms of various illnesses are thought to result when the body's energy, known as qi, is out of balance. Kampo tries to offset these imbalances by correcting the flow of qi in the body. Kampo physicians examine a patient's eye, tongue, abdomen, and pulse. A Kampo diagnosis takes into account the different body types and the symptom patterns of each patient, so patients with the same illness are not always prescribed the same Kampo formulas. This is in contrast to Western medicine, where the same drug is used for a specific disease affecting a large number of the people. In this respect, Kampo drugs can be called tailor-made drugs. Kampo drugs are carefully balanced combination of several herbs based on formulas found in ancient Chinese literature and medicine. This makes Kampo drugs quite different from Western drugs, which usually consist of a single ingredient in standard dose and from folk remedies. where generally only one herb is used. Combined together, the ingredients in combo drug restore the balance in the affected dead organ or metabolic system, harmonizing the disrupted chi while counteracting any potential side effects. With these unique characteristics, combo can be considered a viable alternative when Western drugs do not produce the desired effect.
Unit 3. Drug Development and Approval. Reading. How much do you know about clinical trials? For example, do you know how long it takes for a new drug to be approved? Once a new compound has been identified in the laboratory, it undergoes a lengthy process before it can be marketed for public use. The entire drug development process can be summarized as follows. Preclinical testing, investigational new drug application, IND, clinical trials, new drug application, NDA, and approval. During preclinical testing, a pharmaceutical company conducts laboratory and animal studies to test the effectiveness of the compound against the targeted disease. Preclinical testing also determines the safety of the new compound and studies the physical and chemical characteristics of the new drug substance. These tests take about 3.5 years. After preclinical testing, the company files an IND application with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, for permission to begin human testing. Without objections, tests begin within 30 days. Clinical testing starts with phase 1 studies on 20 to 80 healthy subjects. The safe dosage range and how a drug is absorbed, distributed, metabolized, and excreted by the body are determined. These tests take about a year. In phase 2, the potential drug is first tested on 100 to 300 patients suffering from the targeted disease. This takes about 2 years. If the new drug looks promising, phase 3, with 1,000 to 3,000 patients, is started. It tests the therapeutic outcome of the new treatment compared to conventional methods. These human clinical trials are subject to strict review and approval by institutional ethics committees. This phase lasts about 3 years. Ultimately, only about one new drug ever emerges from some 10,000 newly synthesized substances. After the clinical trials have been completed, the company analyzes all of the data and, if the data is positive, files an NDA with the FDA. In 1997, the average NDA review time for new substances approval was 16.2 months. After this approval, physicians are then free to prescribe the new medicine. The drug manufacturer must continue to submit periodic reports to the FDA that include the appropriate quality control records and information on any cases of adverse reactions. For some medicines, the FDA requires follow-up trials to evaluate long-term effects. Developing safe and effective new medicines is a long and expensive process. The 11 to 13 years it takes on average from laboratory to pharmacy is very long for people suffering from terminal diseases. In recent years, this has led to greater pressure by patients who know they cannot wait for treatment. For these patients, speeding up the lengthy process is indeed a matter of life and death.
2. Listening comprehension. 1. Question response. Listen to the questions and possible responses. Choose the best response to each question.
1. In phase 1, who participates?
A. Ill people. B. Healthy people. C. Laboratory animals.
2.
Preclinical
It takes
testing.
12 years on average for an experimental drug to travel from lab to pharmacy, doesn't it?
A. No, it doesn't. B. Yes, it does. C. No, it takes much longer. 2. Short talk. Listen to the short talk, then choose the best answer to each question below.
Discovering and developing safe and effective new medicines is a long, difficult, and expensive process. The research-based pharmaceutical industry expected to invest $24 billion in research and development in 1999. Despite the huge investments required, however, a company that successfully produces and markets a clinically useful new drug or medication can earn enormous profits.
1. What can a company that wants to develop a new medicine expect? 2. In 1999, how much did the research-based pharmaceutical industry expect to invest in research and development? Unit 4. What is Compo?
Unit 4. What is compo?
Reading. For millennia, humans have used plants and herbs as medicines. Ginger, for example, is used to relieve nausea, vomiting, and other gastrointestinal symptoms. Rhubarb is good for constipation. St. John's wort eases depression and anxiety. While cultures around the world have greatly benefited from the pharmacological ingredients in these and other herbs for treating various disorders, the Chinese have been especially successful at developing their own traditional medical practices over several thousand years. Japan adapted these practices during the 4th or 5th century and created its own unique herbal medical diagnosis and treatment system called Kampo. Kampo is the most commonly employed form of alternative medicine in Japan. According to a recent survey, about 75% of Japanese physicians have prescribed Kampo drugs as part of their treatment. This increasing interest in Kampo comes from a simple fact. Kampo drugs have been producing promising results in patients. In Kampo treatment, physicians see a disease condition as the manifestation of imbalances within the body. Symptoms of various illnesses are thought to result when the body's energy, known as qi, is out of balance. Kampo tries to offset these imbalances by correcting the flow of qi in the body. Kampo physicians examine a patient's eyes, tongue, abdomen, and pulse. A Kampo diagnosis takes into account different body types and the symptom patterns of each patient. So patients with the same illness are not always prescribed the same Kampo formulas. This is in contrast to Western medicine, where the same drug is used for a specific disease affecting large numbers of people. In this respect, Kampo drugs can be called tailor-made drugs. Kampo drugs are carefully balanced combinations of several herbs based on formulas found in ancient Chinese literature on medicine. This makes Kampo drugs quite different from Western drugs, which usually consist of a single ingredient in standard doses, and from folk remedies, where generally only one herb is used. Combined together, the ingredients in a Kampo drug restore the balance in the affected organ and metabolic system, harmonizing the disrupted qi while counteracting any potential side effects. With these unique characteristics, Kampo can be considered a viable alternative when Western drugs do not produce the desired effect.
2. Listening comprehension. 1. Question response. Listen to the questions and possible responses. Choose the best response to each question.
1. How many Japanese physicians have used Kampo drugs as part of their treatment?
A. 75 of them. B. About 75% of them. C. Several of them.
2. What do Kampo physicians examine to make their diagnoses?
A. The balanced part. B. The patient's qi. C. The patient's eyes, tongue, and abdomen. 2. Short talk. Listen to the short report. Then choose the best answer to each question below.
Since prehistoric times, humans have used plants as medicines. Of the 520 new prescription drugs approved between 1983 and 1994, 39% were natural products or derived from plants or animals, with 60 to 80% of antimicrobials and anti-cancer drugs obtained from such products.
1. How many drugs were approved between 1983 and 1994? 2. Which drugs were obtained from plants or animals? Part 2. Treating specific diseases and conditions. Unit 5. Helicopter.
Which drugs were obtained from plants or animals? Antimetabolites. Obtained. Helicobacter pylori.「それどっかに書いてないですか？」Amazon。 the man and of course Capitano. All right. All right. Mm. Mm. こいい。Welcome. By checking the acknowledge.そんなにかかんのじゃあもうやっていくか。OK。Tips and reminders. You can click help. In the top right corner. Accommodations item. So. Approximation. at any time during their sales. Even job help.まず2月のことならベンダー。雑誌を根本して顧客に上位3。高い顧客満足度維持、製品を滞りなく出荷。ベンダーをランク付けしてください。ベンダー、そういうことね。数量。お金のない配数。コストを最小限に抑える。季節書のチームのニーズを念頭にベンダー。季節書。季節書士。商品需要の変化。柔軟性が多い方がいいのか。100% 数は前月比のパフォーマンスの変化。配送の ん顧客の先月、なるほど。配送の高い需要は問い合わせこれは当然だ、どれぐらいそうかした。キャンプで2ヶ月前、今でも多くの問い合わせます。客問い合わせは、はぁ、わかんない。配送の遅れ、どういうもの影響しましたか配送の手違い。なるほど。100%。カスタマーオブセッショントレーニング。ベンダの請求書追加の予想すべて完了。誰か一番の業務ん 質問を受けない面接。うん2時間。面接ができる別の。決定マネージャーレベルまで。人材採用イベントを手伝う。講師のメールに回答。計画。以上の書類をしてください。経験がほどシャドーイングすることだ。次に、その先マネージ関する文章が赤字だったな。延期する。あと1週。チームメイトがサポートに満足できる時間の攻撃を知ることは、別の業務と比較したあなたのプロジェクトの島でサポートの順位用意できるかしら。 ー。最初の挙動はいいことです。予期しないものが発生。ちょっとなるというか、大部分のプロジェクトはしっかりと構成された人。まあ、そうね。タスクが完了するまでに終わる。この人の気持ち。この人々の、私は大部分の人々と同じように、失敗が立ち直る。自分の仕事再確認。私は人の記者はあまり考えません。私に、なんか私はよくわからない。しかもその他の人々が何をか。頻繁な変通常問題解決の信者に。 この人に調子うーん。ああ。 口角